Okay, so good evening, or morning or afternoon, whatever time it is that you're checking this out. At this point, I don't have anyone who's joined uh, my live office hour this evening, and since we've not had anybody join this term, which is fine. If you don't need it, that's good. I think overall class is doing pretty well, but anyway, like I said, no real surprise because most of the term, or for the rest of the term, no one has shown up. So for the live office hour, but anyway, what I'll do real quick here is just give a recap of, or a quick summary, I guess I should say, of what you're doing this week, and then I'll basically turn things over to YouTube and show you a video that will cover one of the harder labs that you're working on this week. So anyway, looking in Canvas, Unit 5, you've got a lot going on this week. You've got 4 modules to cover, modules 10, 11, 12, and 13. If we go to the Academy and take a look at that, you're covering essentially some Layer 2 security topics, and the first chapter, Chapter 10, is on LAN security concepts, and then the next chapter is on switch security configuration. And then the next 2 chapters, last 2 chapters that you get into this week, are covering wireless LAN. So you'll learn some concepts in the first chapter, and then you'll learn about the configuration in the third chapter. And that's where your final lab is for this week, and that's a wireless LAN configuration. And so you can, of course, download your packet tracer file here. I'm going to click on the PDF. This is your essentially your device table and addressing table here, and so that gives you all the basic information that you need, and then the wireless LAN info table here below that. And so in this lab you're going to do some configuration and configure some wireless LAN settings and security settings and different things. So so again, since no one has joined, again, if you do ever have a question or something, feel free to join the live office hour on Thursday evenings. Of course, if that's not convenient for you, you can always just shoot me an email or whatever. But anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn it over to YouTube, and we're going to take a look at the packet tracer wireless LAN configuration. And this video is about an hour long. You of course can come and go to YouTube and access the video there instead of accessing it through my video here. One of the advantages with YouTube is you can come to the settings, and depending on what you're using to watch my video, you can probably do the same. But anyway, if you come to the settings and go to playback speed, you can speed it up a little bit if you want to, and that'll kind of help you get to certain parts faster or whatever. And obviously, as you know, you can just skip along and get to different sections. But this is what we're going to take a look this evening. If anyone pops in during the remaining part of my online office hour, we may pause this and address any questions. But again, based on prior history this term, I don't expect that will be the case. So let's check this video out.
The topology looks very similar to other things we've done. Probably the difference, looks like these are about the same. This home SSID, everything's wireless in here. Well, yeah, everything's wireless. Doesn't have the wired PC. up the cloud and web server. We don't have the DNS server as we did in the previous packet tracer. Let's look over here on the right side where it has WPA2 Enterprise Network. Pretty much that looks the same. All right, so we're pretty comfortable with the topology. All right, so let's look at our addressing table. Home wireless router, the internet side, which is over here. It's going to be getting an IP address from the ISP or the internet cloud. LAN side. Now, that should be a little bit of difference there, /27 versus usually we're using a CIDR of 24. We got to make sure we configure that correctly. LAP 1 on the enterprise side, that's going to be assigned a DHCP IP address. Let's see. Home admin, where's that? Home admin. There's no home admin PC. Well, we'll see what happens. So home admin, maybe that's why it looks different, because there's no home admin PC. Maybe it'll have us create it, possibly. All right. Web server, pretty much the same. DNS server. DNS server. All right, so it refers to a DNS server. All right. So, but it's not there. Maybe we'll create it. All right, let's see. Laptops there, tablet, smartphone, wireless host 1 and 2. All right. Wireless LAN information on the left side, home network is still home SSID, WPA2 personal, passwords, pretty standard password for us. Wireless LAN 2, SSID 2 is on this side. Pre-shared key, WPA2 Enterprise VLAN 5, which is going to be SSID 5. It'll have a username of that and password. All right, so, and then note, it's not a good practice to reuse passwords as is done in this activity, especially those. Passwords have been reused to make it easier to work through the tasks. All right, this is a lot of stuff overall in this packet tracer. That's why I really want to go through it with you guys. I'm going to try to break this up for the most part. Let's see. Part 1 is configure a home wireless router, and then part 2 is configure the WLC controller. All right, so don't really worry about anything on the right side first. Let's just do home SSID, get that working, check our completion, make sure everything's good, and then we'll move our way over. All right, so objectives. In this activity, you will configure both a wireless home router and a WLC-based network. You will implement both WPA2 PSK and WPA2 Enterprise security. All right. Configure a home router to provide Wi-Fi connectivity to a variety of devices. Configure WPA2 PSK, security on a home router. Configure interfaces on a WLC. Configure wireless LANs on a WLC. Configure WPA2 PSK security on a WLAN and connect hosts to a wireless LAN. And configure WPA2 Enterprise on a wireless LAN and connect hosts to the WLAN. And finally, verify connectivity, I guess, comma, wireless connectivity. All right. You will apply your wireless LAN skills and knowledge by configuring a home wireless router and an enterprise WLC. You will implement both WPA2 PSK and WPA2 Enterprise security. Finally, you will connect hosts to each wireless LAN and verify connectivity. So let's do this step by step. This might take a while to do just by looking at it. All right, part 1, configure a home wireless router. You're installing a new home wireless router at a friend's house. All right, you're a nice guy or lady. You will need to change settings on the router to enhance security and meet your friend's requirements. All right, step 1, change DHCP settings. All right, open home wireless router GUI and change the router router IP and DHCP settings according to the information in the addressing table. So it didn't tell us the address. It didn't tell us the DHCP settings. We got to look in the addressing table. All right, so let's see. Home wireless router. That's the IP address on the WAN side. All right, that's fine. All of our 3 hosts will be DHCP clients from that right there. DNS server will be there. What's so weird, there's no DNS server. All right, I don't know if I'm the only person worrying about that. All right, so let's go to home wireless router. Now I'm not remoting into this because, for one thing, all of our clients are not connected via wireless. All right. So for one thing, let's see, first off, let's see. I want to work my way down, so hopefully I don't miss any of these steps. All right, let's configure the interface, internet interface of the router to receive its IP over DHCP. Let's do that first. All right, so automatic config. All right, the router IP address is going to be that right there, 192.168.6.1. All right, and according to this, it's a /27, so currently it's a /24 because you have 255s are all 8 bits each, so 8, 16, 24, and then you can actually use this as a guide. So there's 24. If you go up 1, that's 25, 26, 27. So 224, let's see, did I do that right? Yeah, 24, 25, 26, 27. All right, that's a /27. All right, DNS server is enabled. We want to start, we can't change that 3rd octet right there, but we can change the 4th octet. Let's go back down here. All right, configure the DHCP server to start with IP address .3 of the LAN network. Okay, so I'm gonna put a 3 there. Maximum number of users will be 20, issued by the router. All right. Let's see, does it say, all right, configure the static DNS server to the address in the addressing table. All right, DNS server right there, 10.100.100, 10.100.100.252. All right, that's good. Scroll down. All right, let's verify our changes. And one thing too, when you're using the, I'm using my roller on my mouse. Sometimes when you roll down, you'll change the drop-down boxes. So make sure that doesn't happen. You can use your scroll bar to make sure that doesn't happen. All right, DHCP assigned by our ISP, that's good. Network address, or router IP is going to be 192.168.6.1 with a /. See, you know what? That actually changed. This happened the last time I did this too. See how it changed to 252? That would not be a /27. All right, so 24, 25, 26, 27. All right, should be a 255, 255, 255, 224. All right, so about the roller, make sure that's not, doesn't happen. All right, start IP address is .3. We're going to go back and check, make sure that changed to a 6, that 3rd octet, 20 users. And the IP range should, the 3rd octet should change. All right, now let's click save, save settings. This is the little things that can trip you up, and unfortunately, you try to speed through it, it can happen. All right, so it doesn't tell us it changed anything, but if you see, it went from the default to 192.168.6.3. through 6.22. All right, so we're starting our IP assigning range by DHCP at 3, and then it automatically converts 20 more users up to .22. All right, everything there is good. I don't like to speed through that because you speed through it and it's going to get something's going to get messed up. All right, so we opened up our wireless router, changed our DHCP settings. From the addressing bar, we permitted maximum of 20 addresses to be issued by the router. Configure DHCP server to start at IP address .3 on the LAN network. That's good. Notice I'm using the scroll bar again. I'm not touching anything. Configure the internet interface of the router to receive its IP address over DHCP. Verify the address. What address did it receive? All right, you can answer that. I'm not going to. This is the only question in this lab. I'm not going to require you guys to submit that. You should know that. All right. And the way we're going to tell is we can go out and actually. Well, I'll show you guys that in a minute. I don't want to touch anything out here because I don't want to mess any settings up. All right, configure the static DNS server to the addressing table. All right, so I've hit save settings. Now, let's see. Yeah, if you click on status, all right, there is the information we got from our ISP. All right, 10.100.200. 10.100.200. So it's definitely not on this network. All right. That third octet is 200. This one's a 100. So that's fine. We specified the DNS, which is right there. Default gateway. That's the default gateway for the actual. Like in this lab, if that was my IP address, and I definitely don't have a /29 here, but the default gateway from my ISP would be that default gateway. This is the outside interface on my router, and that's it's connecting to this interface on their router and then out to their network. All right, and DNS setting, that's probably your ISP's DNS. All right, we're not going to touch anything. So that would answer that question. Now, step 2 is configure the wireless LAN. The network will use a 2.4 gigahertz wireless LAN interface. Configure the interface with the SSID shown in the wireless LAN information table. Okay, so I'm going to click on the wireless tab. All right. Now, I like using my roller on my mouse. You can mess this up too by doing that, because trust me, I've done it. All right, so 2.4 gigahertz, we got 2 different antennas, or actually, I guess 3 antennas. All right, so our home wireless SSID is right there. It doesn't really say we need the network mode change. We need to change the network name or SSID to home SSID. Now H is uppercase, SSID is uppercase. All right, SSID broadcast, I'm going to enable that. All right, remember, and be careful on rolling my mouse down. All right, I'm going to use channel 6, just like that. Channel bandwidth, leave those to auto. Network mode. Don't use your roller because that'll change that channel. All right, use the scroll bar on the right. Now let's go back down. And I'm not going to change my 5 gigahertz to, it doesn't say to turn this off unless I missed it. All right, we'll use the 2.4 LAN. All right, if we have to come back and turn those off, we'll do that later on. All right. Configure security, configure wireless LAN security, use WPA2 personal and passphrase shown in the wireless LAN information table. All right, so I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna click Save Settings. All right, notice the completion rate. And I like to wait just to make sure this thing's saved. All right, I'm assuming it saved it. Verify your settings are right. Let's go to wireless security. All right, 2.4 gigahertz. We're just changing that to WPA2. Remember, WPA2, not WPA. A lot of people do that. Definitely not WEP, because we can break that pretty easy. WPA, we can break that too. Not easily, but more easily. WPA2 personal. All right, make sure we got that. All right. Passphrase shown in the wireless LAN information table. All right, so passphrase is, they call it the password. Cisco with the capital C on the beginning, 1, 2, 3. All right, I'm not going to use my roller. All right. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and save this before I go to the next step. All right, save settings. Notice the completion rate jumped up. Whenever it does that, I get excited. All right, let's see. All right, I'm taking my time on this. I like rushing through it, but it's a bad idea. All right, so secure the router by changing the default password to the value shown in the wireless LAN information table. So we're changing the password for the actual administration of this wireless access point, which administration, I believe. Yep. So we're changing the password to actually log into the router for Cisco with Cisco, if I can type right, CO, capital CISCO, 1, 2, 3. So just the capital C on the beginning. Retype it in, Cisco, 1, 2, 3. All right, go down all the way to the bottom. Save settings. All right, so 23% completion rate. I like that. All right, let's scroll down. All right, secure the router. We've done that. We're on step 4. Connect clients to the network. So I'm going to go ahead and close this down. All right, open PC wireless app on the desktop of the laptop and configure the client to connect to the network. So laptop first. All right, desktop, PC wireless app. Looks like I guess a cell tower. Kinda, sorta. All right. So let's go ahead and, so we hit refresh. We're picking up various wireless networks. Home SSID, connect to that, and remember WPA2 personal is what we want. That's the default. Cisco 1, 2, 3 with a capital C is your shared key. All right, see the lines up there, we're good. All right, completion rate has changed. All right, open the config tab on the tablet. So let's close this down. And always click on the wrong things for the tablet and the smartphone. You actually need the config tab, not the desktop tab. All right. Open the config tab on the tablet, PC, and smartphone and configure the wireless interfaces to connect to the wireless network. Okay, so config, wireless 0, SSID underneath the MAC address. Okay, so Cisco, whoops, see, about messed that up. It's home, capital H, SSID, and then WPA2, PSK, not this one, not WPA, but WPA2 PSK. All right, and then passphrase is Cisco 123. Okay, good to go. Now you can't really save this. You can just go out of it. Once you go out of it, it connects. All right, next thing, smartphone, same way. All right, looks like I haven't seen a smartphone with a little antenna sticking out of it for a while. All right, or actual buttons. I do like buttons, but all right. So config, smartphone. Okay, we're going to do wireless 0. SSID is going to be home with a capital H. SSID is caps, all caps. Make sure we're hitting WPA2-PSK. All right. So passphrase Cisco 123. All right, good to go. I'm going to click the desktop tab. See what happens. All right, now we're connected. All right, so we're looking good. We're at 40% completion. Anything else we need to do? All right, verify connectivity. The host should be able to ping each other and the web server. They should also be able to reach the web server URL. So I'm going to do the laptop first. And if I do www.net acad.pt, might take a minute or so, but we should get there. All right, fingers crossed. All right, had to hit go twice, but now we've got the packet tracer web server coming up. All right, let's do the smartphone. Whoops. netacad.pt. All right, that one comes up first shot. And then finally tablet PC, web browser, netacad.pt. All right, that one comes up first shot too. All right, now I'm pretty confident this thing will, we can ping each other, but